She didn't even really get to fight. One big hand comes over the top, boom, and that's it. One punch. Forget the count. This thing is over. Man, women's combat sports are wild. Some of these knockouts, they honestly don't even make sense when you watch them back. Today, we're diving into some of the most brutal, jaw-dropping finishes ever caught on camera, and trust me, that last one is absolutely insane. Alana Jones signed up to fight a world champion boxer inside an MMA cage, and somehow, she figured the kicking was going to be the least of her worries. Wrong. This is a fighter with a ridiculous boxing record: 33 wins, only 2 losses, and from the very first second, she turned the whole thing into a chess match. Jones didn't even realize she was playing. And then this happens. A brutal head kick out of nowhere. She saw the opening, started circling, and let it fly. Clipped her clean. Wasn't even the shin, just the foot, but that was more than enough. Lights out. And here's the thing that gets me. It looked so easy for her. Rashi Shindai walked into a Singapore arena and stared across the cage at a Muay Thai killer who'd basically been hitting things professionally since she was a teenager. That test lasted a whole 19 seconds. I'm serious. That's not even enough time to properly tie your gloves. Then there's Miranda Atkins, who took a fight on 2 weeks' notice against one of the most technically sharp women in boxing. She lasted exactly 7 seconds. You could tell she was reluctant to even leave her corner. And honestly, who could blame her? 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's over. One of the fastest knockouts in women's boxing history, and you can see the doctors rushing in right away. Sometimes the tape tells you everything you need to know before the bell even rings. Dee Allen came in as an unbeaten British welterweight prospect who needed to prove she could do more than just grind out wins. And Matilda Contreras was brought in as exactly the type of tough, been-everywhere opponent who's supposed to make that process ugly. But by round 4, Allen loaded up on an overhand right, landed it flush, and dropped Contreras flat on the canvas. This is one of those low-budget regional cards where the production's a little rough, but the finishing instincts, very, very real. I kinda love those cards for that reason. Sandy Ryan stepped onto a Milan undercard listed as 1-0, which technically means she had almost 0 pro experience on paper. But what nobody bothered to tell her opponent was that Ryan had apparently decided she was skipping the whole learning curve. Second pro fight, and she's already executing textbook body shots like a veteran. 20 seconds left in round 4, and her opponent is just reeling around in pure agony. That's a nasty way to find out body shots aren't optional. Shelly Mata walked into Fury FC 112 in Houston with an undefeated record and a 3-fight finishing streak. The kind of resume that gives you real, earned confidence. She's throwing strong low kicks, mixing in nice combinations, setting up the high kick. But Micah Reyes dismantled her in 1 minute and 41 seconds before the Houston crowd had even settled in for the night. A laser-accurate right hand, right on the chin. The jab did a little damage. Then the right came straight over the top. Down she went. That's the cruel part of this sport. Confidence doesn't stop a clean right hand. Tamana Amadi faced Sophie Phillips in an amateur MMA bout, and Sophie came charging in, trying to establish pressure early. Then this happens. She runs straight into a massive right hand. And here's the kicker. Someone had literally called it beforehand, saying she comes out swinging with her hands down. And that's exactly what she did. Ran right into it, hands down. Sometimes the game plan is the whole problem. Deandra Martin had already shared the ring with some serious names inside one championship, but this was a night she'd probably love to forget. Her opponent stayed cool, calm, listening to the ref, picking her spots. Then came the left hook, the right hand, another right hand, and just like that, Martin was down and not getting back up. Right under the chin, right on the button. Amazing. Incredibly precise. That's what experience looks like when it clicks. Celine All had a 3-1 record and actual pro experience, so when Erevan Barut showed up for her debut, everyone assumed All was the safe bet in this Istanbul kickboxing fight. Yeah, about that. Kia O'Sullivan came into her fight looking like a student who'd already peeked at the answer key, while her opponent walked in with that dangerous Muay Thai confidence, like she was about to turn the cage into a kicking seminar. But O'Sullivan controlled distance beautifully, buried her leg kicks, and by round 2, she'd basically figured out the whole pattern. Her opponent kept retreating straight backward, chin up, like someone backing out of a haunted house. And then head kick. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Absolutely outstanding. That's what happens when you back straight up in a straight line. Stella Himmelsberger fought her entire match like someone calmly setting a trap, and just waiting for her opponent to wander into it, one bad retreat at a time. She applied pressure early, cut off the ring, mixed in the ground game. Then the head kick landed absolutely clean, and her opponent dropped instantly, like the physics engine just stopped rendering. This was only her 3rd fight, and she made it look routine. That's a scary sign for the rest of the division. Hannah Turup fought like a woman, patiently waiting for bad decisions to show up in the mail, and her opponent kept express shipping them straight to her face. These two weren't feeling each other out at all. Good combination, right on the button, and she just sat her down. Turup capitalizes with a big right, And now the other fighter's on wobbly legs. And remember, this isn't a 3-round fight. She keeps coming, keeps getting caught all night. Then a big right hand, and that's it. Knocked out in the 6th. A crushing overhand. Sometimes heart alone just isn't enough. Christina Brewer versus Patricia Rodriguez in Tenerife started like two fighters who mutually agreed to skip defense entirely and just see what happens. These two were going for it. Left hooks, big shots over the top from both sides. Then came the moment. Brewer launched a perfectly timed flying Superman punch right as her opponent committed forward. Straight down, clean, right on the kisser. Boom, what a shot. That little hop she added? Chef's kiss. Chanel Dyer made her pro debut and somehow looked like she'd already done it 100 times. The striking, the speed of her jab, the shoulder movement. Honestly, there was almost nothing to critique. A near picture-perfect performance. Then, near the end of round 1, she spun through with a clean back fist that landed flush and shut everything down instantly. Unbelievable. She does it, what a pro debut. And the more you watch that shot back, the dirtier it gets. That's not a debut, that's a statement. Sabina Mazo treated her fight like a masterclass in distance control, while her opponent tried to solve it by just walking forward and hoping timing would eventually cooperate. Spoiler, it didn't. Her opponent stepped in with her guard slightly off, and Mazo fired a clean head kick right on the entry, left the angle wide open. The ref had to jump in to stop the hammer fist coming down on someone who was already out. Good, sharp refereeing there. The Colombian queen flawless. Amy Brierly fought her match like she was trying to speedrun Muay Thai, and her opponent responded like a patient teacher about to fail a student in front of the whole class. Brierly wanted to close the distance, but she rushed in with her head way too high, and a brutal right hook shut the entire operation down. Monster right hand loops right over the chin, and down she goes. My goodness, look at that. Aggression's great, but not with your chin in the air. Pa Ibarra walked to the center of the ring, and before she'd even settled into her stance, her opponent had already thrown a combination. This wasn't a technical chess match. This was someone realizing mid-fight that body shots are not an optional tax you get to ignore. For a second, it looked like we might get pure chaos. Then the fighter basically hit reset on the whole thing and started hammering the body like she was trying to cancel her opponent's subscription to oxygen. Signature aggressive style. And oh my, that body shot. Brutal. Dakota Dicha fought her match like she had the game running at double speed, while her opponent looked like her controller batteries were dying in real time. Every punch created panic, and the next punch punished that panic immediately. Then she unloaded a savage sequence of hooks and straight punches until the ref finally had to step in. Her opponent was tough, really difficult to put away, but the power was just too much. 3rd round finish, and a shiny new gold belt to go with it. That's the kind of pace nobody can live with. And finally, the one I told you about. Vonda Ward walked into this fight 6'6", undefeated, and built like someone designed a heavyweight in a laboratory. Right from the jump, Wolf started staring directly at Ward's exposed chin, like she'd just spotted free money on the sidewalk. She didn't really fight her. She just waited. One punch. That's it. Forget the count. It's over. And I'll say it. That's probably the best knockout punch I've ever seen in women's boxing. Maybe ever. Period. Ward is still flat on the canvas. Unreal. So yeah, that's why I can't stop watching this stuff. Every one of these is a reminder that in this sport, one clean shot changes everything. If you enjoyed this one, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more crazy content just like this. I'll catch you in the next one.